So a couple years ago I had this idea. I was going to build an aviary for my birds. I have parakeets, a conure at the time, an African gray parrot, and I thought, you know, I had to build something so they can get some flight time. And yes, I can let them fly around the house, and we have, but giving them a place of their own in the outdoors where they could really spread their wings and enjoy the fresh air, just like you and I get to enjoy the fresh air. I thought it would be a good idea. So I've got some pictures I'm going to share in my aviary. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the aviary as it is today, and you can see some of the things that I have in there for the birds. Let's go. So this is a picture of the aviary as it was being built in its beginning stages. Underneath the dirt on the inside, you don't see it here, but there is wire that I put under there, just the little square wire to keep critters from digging their way up into the aviary, and also to keep the rabbit from digging out, because we knew the rabbit would be coming in here from time to time. You can see in this picture that I've got the first panel put up, and what I did was, rather than construct this as one unit, it is really panels that were screwed in to the frame. This way it allows me to go and make changes and change panels out as I see fit. You know, if I want to put the lattice on other sides of the aviary instead of just the two sides that I currently have it on. What's nice about this is that it's a quick disassembly if I would ever need to take it down and maybe move it to a different part of the yard. Here are some pictures of when we first got the aviary built and put together. You can see the rabbit enjoys going in there, the dirt that was down, the paver blocks that we put in. And then this picture is of the initial ground cover we put in. So I didn't have the fountain in there at this point. So you can see this is the aviary. It is 6 foot tall, it is 8 foot in length, and it is 4 feet in depth. Now you'll notice the door is a little bit short. That is because the parakeets, when they fly, they like to fly up. So I didn't want anything sneaking by me as I enter or exit the aviary. And usually when I get over to that side, they will all take off to the other side anyway, but it's just another little precautionary thing I put on there. I do have 2 spring hook locks on the door to keep them from accidentally getting bumped open. There's one on the top. Oh, there's my shadow. There's one down on the bottom, as you can see. I also have a padlock on here, so you know there are times where I might have to run to the store or might not be home for a couple of hours, and we'll put a padlock on that door as well, just to keep, you know, people from being a little more honest, I guess, or keep them being a little bit more honest, I should say. You know, I don't want somebody coming by and trying to steal my birds. Not that that has ever happened, but you know, always good to have that on there just in case. So we'll unlock the door. And let's go inside. So you'll see first and foremost I've got a little water fountain over here. That water fountain is a place for them to come get a drink. It is not very deep. That is on purpose. Didn't want anybody accidentally drowning in the water fountain. This part of the water fountain is a little bit deep, but you'll see I put a rock in there. So that rock displaced the water, and it's not deep at all, so if anybody does get in there, they can easily get out. I have a couple of bigger rocks in here. That is more for decoration, but we do have a bearded dragon that comes out once in a while, and he likes to sit on the rock and sunbathe. We also have, there's Thumper. Say hi, Thumper. Thumper is our rabbit. He loves being out here and is out here periodically. My daughter put this wooden box in, a place for her to come out and sit and play with the birds, play with the rabbit. And of course, Thumper likes to get on top of that. He likes to get a little bit of height, so he likes to sit up there. And I don't know what he's doing, but he just likes to sit up there and clean himself. And yes, those are my shoes. We have so I have another bird bath in here. That's the bird bath. It needs a little more water in it, but that was the original bird bath I had in here, fountain for the birds, and I just haven't taken it out. They still like to use it, particularly the parakeets. No plants in here right now, but we will put natural some natural plants in here that the parakeets like to eat, or safe for them to eat. We put in a perch tree with some rope and a handful of toys on it. Gives them an opportunity to play, which they do. Across the one side, you'll see perch, cuttlebone, and you also see this natural wood perch that's put in there. They like to get up there as well, as does the bearded dragon. I put the cuttlebone there because you'll see that on one of the corners they were trying to sharpen their beaks, I guess, and started wearing that out. And once I put that cuttlebone up there, it seemed to do the trick. You'll notice I have a couple of waters here. One of those usually, well, it's rainwater right now, but usually that gets emptied. We'll put either fresh food out here for the birds, or in the case if Topper, my African gray, is out, he doesn't really fly, or she doesn't really fly, I should say. She is a she. I will put food in here for her, and then she'll sit out here on this perch. And what's nice about this perch is that it is partially shade, partially sun. Does not get a ton of sun, so she's able to stay out a little bit longer without being in the direct sunlight all day. So you'll notice half of the aviary is screened at the top, and the other half is not screened. Well, it is screened, but it has some roofing material on top of it that you can buy for overhangs or lean-tos, and that gives them an opportunity. So if it is starting to rain, or if they want to get out of the sun, they can come over and get into the shade. We put this up. This is a place where we put some food as well for them. They like getting on there. A couple of perches, and then we have a bird feeder. So they will eat out of the parakeets, and the conures will actually eat out of the bird feeder. So we'll make sure to put a little bit of sunflower seeds and a few other things that the conures like to eat. They do eat the parakeet seed when they're out here. And they aren't really out here all night. We put them out here for a few hours in the day, which gives them an opportunity, like I said, to stretch their wings and fly a little bit. Then we have another perch that's up here, another stick that we've tied up. Mostly the parakeets enjoy that. For the rabbit, because the rabbit does come out as well and is out here quite a bit of the time, we do have a little rabbit house for Thumper. I built this, and I did raise it up a little bit. That was just to help with water flow, so the water would run under it. You'll notice that this side is paved, and this side is not. And usually throughout the year there's ground cover that takes over, so this is mostly green, but I do leave a few spots that are not green just because some of the birds like to get down and scratch around and mess around in the dirt. So the rabbit house, you'll notice, is screened at the bottom as well. I did that just to make it easier in case the rabbit decided to poo in there, and it would go through. But what the rabbit has done is chosen a corner here to go in, and makes it very easy to clean up daily. So this is a tour of the aviary. If you have any questions, you can leave those questions in the post below, and we'd be happy to answer them. That's Sammy you're hearing whimpering. Sammy would like to come in and play with the rabbit. Sammy likes the rabbit, but Sammy is not allowed inside the aviary. Sorry, Sam. But yes, if you have any questions about the aviary, we'd be happy to answer them.
So you see that little gadget on the pole in the back of the aviary. That is a sensor that I can keep an eye on in the house that keeps track of not just the time, but the temperature as well as the humidity. So
one more thing I forgot to mention, on the inside of the door here, you'll notice that I also have a hook. So that way when I come in, I can hook the door from the inside and I don't accidentally bump it and knock it open. Well, if you like my video, be sure to subscribe. Hit the button below. If you don't like my video, that's alright. You can subscribe anyway. Also, again, if you have any questions about the aviary, be sure to ask in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and that goes with any of the other birds too. I post a lot of bird videos on here. If you have a question about feeding parakeets, if you have a question about conures, if you have a question about African grays, you know, like ours in particular has that plucking issue, had that plucking issue, and what we did to resolve it. Would love to be advice and let you give you some advice and let you know what worked for us. And just because something worked for me doesn't necessarily that it would mean that it would work for you. But you know, I think it's like anything else. You gather data, and then you try new things and you see what works.